One of the most well-known aspects of the Christian faith is the importance to believe. This idea is found in a multitude of different verses in the New Testament, one of which is in Romans chapter 10, verses 8 and 9. But what does it say? The declaration is near you, in your mouth and in your heart. That is, the declaration of the faith which we are preaching, that if you confess the Lord Jesus with your mouth, and if you have believed in your heart that God raised him up from the dead, you will be saved. This 9th verse is a wonderful verse to help us to see some of the things we need to do in order to be saved, one of which is to believe that God raised up Jesus from the dead. But also, it doesn't just say that. It says, too, that if you confessed the Lord Jesus with your mouth. There's also a necessity to confess. We must confess the Lord Jesus with our mouth in order to be saved. You have to believe and also confess that belief. If you turn to John chapter 12, verses 42 and 43, there is a passage that speaks about rulers who did believe on Jesus. It says, "Nevertheless, even many out of the rulers also believed in him." But these rulers are not spoken of in a positive light. They are said to love the glory from men rather than the glory from God. And also it talks about how they were worried about becoming expelled from the synagogue if they confessed. The entirety of verses 42 and 43 of John 12 say, "Nevertheless, even many out of the rulers also believed in him, but because of the Pharisees they were not confessing it, that they might not become expelled from the synagogue, for they loved the glory from men rather than the glory from God." These individuals are not spoken of in a positive light. They are not spoken of as being followers of Christ, and they are not spoken of as being saved, even though they believed, but they did not confess. And with those things in mind, I encourage us that we confess our belief, that we confess the Lord Jesus, that we confess him as the Son of God, that we confess that we believe that Jesus was raised from the dead. Do not be ashamed of that. Confess it boldly, with confidence and conviction. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and have a nice day.